Seeker. Written by Suzana Thompson. Performed by Heather Firth. Chapter 34. Silas starts to ask me a question, but I'm too agitated to explain anything over the phone. I'm leaving now, I tell him. Fortunately for me, my parents have gone grocery shopping, so I don't have to stop and ask permission to use the car. They'll want to know where I went, but I'll deal with that later. Right now, I just need to take action, and I push the futility of it to the back of my mind. The past can't be changed, but I can't stop thinking about what could have been. When I arrive at Silas's apartment building, he's waiting for me in the parking lot. He rushes over to me after I park the car and grabs the door as I'm opening it. "What has happened?" he asks as I'm getting out of the car. "Did you know that Tyler was in love with me?" I demand. He hesitates, and I realize that he might not remember who Tyler is. "Yes," he answers as I'm preparing to tell him about Tyler. I stare at him, because it's a shock to have him confirm what Mason told me. Not that I thought that Mason was lying, but I had assumed that he had exaggerated Tyler's feelings for me. He might have had a crush on me, but love seemed too strong of a word for it. Maybe Silas doesn't really understand the concept of love, and mistook Tyler's crush on me for something more than it was. "He thought of you often, more than any of the others," Silas tells me. "You mean he thought about me more than he thought about them? Or that he thought about me more than they thought about me?" I question, expecting Silas to say that I was in Tyler's thoughts more than the rest of our friends were. "He thought about you more often than they thought about you," he replies. I am stunned by his answer. It means that Tyler thought about me more than my best friend did. Had Chloe missed me at all on that canoe trip? I had presumed that she did, but I had to wonder about that now that I knew about her and Scott. Yet her boyfriend had been on that trip with her too, so she probably hadn't had an opportunity to be alone with my boyfriend. I pictured Tyler there with them, thinking about me, and I wish so much that I could have been there with him. No, I don't, because then I would have died too. What I really wish is that none of them had died, even if Chloe and I had become estranged, even if it had prevented Silas from becoming human. Admitting that to myself makes me realize that I'm not in love with him. Maybe it's just too soon to be in love yet, but I'm not sure about us at all. More than anything, I'm regretting the loss of the life I might have had without the influence of the supernatural. A normal life. It isn't that I was in love with Tyler either, but he wouldn't have left me for Bible college. He would have been a normal high school boyfriend with whom I could share high school memories of things like homecoming and prom, and even just having lunch together in the cafeteria and meeting up by our lockers. I'll have very little of those type of memories involving Silas, and I feel like I'm already losing him too. What was the point of him becoming my boyfriend if he was just going to leave me? Why can't I have anything that lasts? "Why are you asking me about Tyler's love for you?" Silas questions. "Why have you not asked about him until now?" "Because I didn't know about it until now," I answer. "I just talked to his brother the other day, and he told me." "And you wanted to confirm the truth of it?" Silas surmises. "Yes, it is true." "Why didn't you tell me?" I demand in unreasonable anger. "He is dead," Silas replies. "There was no purpose in telling you. It will change nothing." "It would have changed everything if Tyler had told me," I exclaim. "I would have been with him instead of Scott, and they would all still be alive." "They would still have died," Silas contradicts me somberly. It was their time. All of them, I question with scorn. You're telling me all of them would have died on the same day, even if they hadn't been together? That they all would have just dropped dead in their houses? I don't believe it, I declare obstinately. It was their time, he insists. No man can escape the day of his death. That's not true, I argue. What about the people who didn't get on the airplane because they had a bad feeling? I've read about people like that. Then the plane crashed, but they didn't die because they weren't on it. It wasn't their time, he states. And that is why they had the bad feeling that prevented them from getting on the airplane. But you said the lady that knew she was going to drown still died, I remind him. So why did she have that premonition if she was going to die anyway? And why couldn't I save my teacher when I had that warning of death? Because those were premonitions of death, and the others were warnings of danger, he tells me. That is the difference. One prepares the person for death, and the other prevents them from dying before their time. I see the logic in the distinction he's making between the two, but I am still clinging to the other life I could have had. You wouldn't have become human, I muse as I picture a different past. I wouldn't have tried to jump off that building, and you wouldn't have broken the rules by saving me. I probably wouldn't have seen you again until I was old. I could imagine no other messenger of death visiting me in the end except Silas. It would have had to be him. But now I don't know who I'll be seeing when my time comes. How will I even know death is there for me when I keep seeing him come for other people? I'm struck by another thought. Who will come for Silas? Abel, I decide. Surely it would have to be Abel. I wonder if he misses Silas as much as I miss my friends. Do you wish it were so? Silas asks me. Do you wish I had not become human? I'm not able to speak the answer as easily as I would have expected. I had thought that it was a yes, but there is a part of me that is possessive about Silas. In some odd way, I felt like he was mine even before it was in a romantic way. I thought it had to do with feeling responsible for him turning human, but he has now adjusted to human life and no longer needs me to help him. I've just realized that I don't love him, but I still don't want to let go of him. Even as I mourn the normal life I could have had with Tyler, when presented with the choice of giving up Silas for him, I can't wholeheartedly say that I don't want Silas. I'm still wondering why I'm so conflicted about it as I answer him truthfully. No. He smiles at me, thinking that the matter is settled. My own troubled thoughts haven't ceased. But he is right that talking about this now won't change anything, so I don't say any more about it.